Hi guys, it's Ariana. Welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, we are doing a wear test on a foundation that I just picked up. So I picked up the new Morphe foundation. So this is the Morphe matte foundation. So it is the F1.60 is the color that I am. So it's really light. You get 30 milliliters, so 1 fluid ounce, and it lasts for 12 months once it's open. So I have tried this out once already. I wore it to a wedding that I went to last weekend, and I never did a wear test or anything with it. I just wore it, and I didn't really pay attention to what it was like and how it reacted with my skin. So I'm gonna do a wear test today. So it is exactly 1:12 right now when I'm starting this. So hopefully that this foundation looks good, because I really don't remember what it looked like last weekend. But if you are curious, this is what the packaging looks like. It's very sleek packaging, very simple, just a black bottle with the foundation color showing. Foundation retails for $24. So it's a $24 foundation. It's not an overly expensive foundation, but it's still fairly expensive because I'm used to using like ColourPop and like my $1 foundations now. So $24 is a fairly a fairly expensive foundation for Morphe in my opinion, but I wanted to give it a try. So it isn't a pump bottle or anything, it's just another squeezy tube, and you guys know that I don't really like this style of packaging. But I'm going to take about that much out on my hand, and I'm not going to use any primer today just because I want to see what this foundation is like on my skin without anything. So from the first impression, it is a fairly liquidy foundation, so I probably won't need this much, but too late. I already took it out, which is why I don't really like the squeezy tubes. So it smells exactly the same as the concealer. So it has like a paint kind of scent to it, which I really don't like. So a little bit does go a long way, and holy shit, I look very white right now. This looks like it is, in my studio lighting, it makes my skin look like it is like really white, and this isn't my actual shade, but in my actual like mirror lighting, this is like my exact shade. So don't be alarmed, this is my actual shade. And this oxidizes like a motherfucker. I realized that last weekend. So don't be too alarmed if you get this foundation and you're like, holy shit, this is not my shade at all, because it will oxidize and it will get darker. So that is one coat of the foundation, and I still have that much on my hand, so you really don't need a whole lot of this foundation. It does blend pretty nicely and it does go on pretty nicely, so you don't need to pour out as much as I did, but I did, so I'm gonna use it anyway. You can see it's already starting to oxidize a little bit on my hand. Alright, so that is the first coat of this foundation on my skin. So now I'm going to go in with some concealer. So I'm going to go in using the Morphe concealer just because might as well keep it in the same family. So this is the Same Lines concealer, and this is the shade C125, and the foundation is F160. And I'm just going to conceal some of my breakouts, and yeah. That's really all I got right now. Right there. I don't really like using concealer under my eyes just because I find that it makes it look really, really dry and brings out my fine lines, so I avoid using concealer under my eyes. A lot of people like the brightening effect, but I find that the brightening effect doesn't really contradict the making me look old effect, so I'll look tired, I don't care. So the foundation on my skin, sitting on my skin without using any powder or anything, it looks okay. It's a fairly decent color. It does match my skin really nicely in my mirrors. On my camera, it is coming off a little bit lighter than it actually is, and it does oxidize, so keep that in mind. But I think it looks pretty nice for like a drugstore kind of priced foundation. It is sinking into my fine lines a little bit and my under eye lines a little bit, but that's just kind of all foundations. Quickly go in and do the rest of my makeup, and then I will come back and we will start the first check-in, and then I will come back throughout the day and I will check in with you guys and let you guys know how this foundation is looking. Okay, so I am officially back. It is 1:47 right now, and I have finished my makeup for the day. So I'm going to finish off this look completely just by using the Morphe setting spray. So if you're unfamiliar with the Morphe brand. They do have their own setting spray, so I'm going to be testing it out today with the Morphe foundation and the Morphe concealer because why not? I have my Urban Decay here as well, but I would rather just try a Morphe brand with the rest of my face stuff that I used. So I'm just going to set my face. If you are unfamiliar with their setting spray, it kind of smells like hairspray a little bit, but it's not as strong as hairspray. It has a hairspray kind of hint to it, but it is like really refreshing and it's like a mist. So it's not like this where this is like a spray and it's kind of like, I don't know, this one's a little bit of a harsher mist. This one is like a spray that evenly coats your face, and I really like this mist. So I have finished my makeup for the day, so it looks pretty good. I am noticing that it is settling into my forehead lines and my smile lines and my under eye lines, but that is pretty normal for my face. So I'm gonna show you guys what it looks like up close. So with my beauty lights on, this is what it looks like, and with them turned down, this is what my face looks like. So it's a pretty good color match for my skin tone because I am very yellow toned, and you guys can see my under eye lines and my forehead lines and my smile lines are there. So I'm interested to see how this foundation works throughout the rest of the day. Sometimes foundations will look better the longer you wear them, sometimes they'll look worse. So I'm interested to see how this one works out, and yeah, so it is 1:49 right now, so I will check back in about 3 hours and let you guys know what I'm seeing, and yeah, so I'll see you guys then. Okay, so this is the first check-in of the day, so it is 4:45 right now, so we went a little bit over 3 hours. I was busy doing other things, so I didn't have a chance to come back into my studio. So the only thing that I've touched up so far on my makeup is my lipstick, because my lipstick definitely came off a little bit while I was eating. I'm wearing the Jeffree Star watermelon soda. It smells so good, and oh my god, I'm in love with this color, but it definitely does come off. I don't really understand the people that say, oh, Jeffree Star's lipsticks don't come off, they last forever, blah blah blah. I don't really see that. Like, I eat with them on and they come off. So I don't know if I'm doing something wrong, but they definitely come off, and they're not as long lasting as I would expect them to be. But anyway, my makeup still looks pretty good. It hasn't sunk into my fine lines on my forehead and my smile lines any more than it was when I originally put it on. So I wouldn't say that it looks worse by any means. Looking at it through my magnifying mirror, it looks okay. Underneath my eyes is really, really, really crepey, and it sank into my fine lines a lot underneath my eyes, but my forehead not so much, and my smile lines it definitely sank into. So if you have fine lines on your skin, or if you have more mature skin, this foundation may not be the best match for you, but at the same time, I kind of find that all mattifying foundations do this. So unless you have like Botox in your skin, or are just really, really lucky not to have any wrinkles or fine lines, then this foundation is definitely going to sink into your fine lines. So I will show you guys up close what I'm talking about. So I have forehead lines, and I have fine lines underneath my eyes, and then I have smile lines from where I smile, obviously my dimples. So with my lights turned down, you can see that's where all of my fine lines are on my forehead, and it has sanken into them a little bit. Underneath my eyes on my fine lines, it's definitely sank into quite a bit, more than I would actually like. My smile lines, it's definitely sank into. I would say this is a pretty standard matte foundation, and most foundations do this, so I don't really feel that bad. I don't feel that ancient and old, because I'm only 25, and having wrinkles and fine lines is really annoying. But I don't find that it looks that terrible. For $25, it's not that bad of a foundation, but at the same time, I've also found foundations for a cheaper price that are just as good, if not better. So far, I'm kind of just meh on this foundation. I do think that it is a really nice color, though. I do think it matched my yellow undertone really well. So if you guys can see from my neck to my face, it does match pretty well. So I am happy about that. When I originally was putting it on, it did look extremely white, but that was also my lighting. But so far it looks pretty good. So at, what time is it now? I said it was 4:30, like 4:45 is what I said it was. So around 8 o'clock, I'll come back and I will finish up this video with you guys, and we can see what it looks like after another 4 hours. So we'll leave it on for about 8 hours today, 8 or 9 hours, and yeah, I will see you guys then. Okay guys, so it is 7:55 right now and I'm going to finish this wear test because I don't know if I'm going to do another video tonight or what I'm going to do tonight, but Sundays are the nights that I have to pack up all my stuff and go back to the city because I go to work on Monday and blah blah blah. So this is the end of the wear test. We're going to go to about 8 o'clock. So we started this at, what did we say, 1:45 to 8 o'clock. So it's a pretty good wear test for this foundation. So just looking in the mirror with all of my lights on, the foundation still looks pretty okay. It does look pretty cakey though, so if you don't really like full coverage mattifying skin for makeup, then this is probably a foundation that you want to steer clear of. As for me, I think it looks okay, but I go for more of a dewy look than I go for a matte look, so this isn't really a foundation that I'll probably want to wear all the time. As for my forehead, it is the exact same as it was 4 hours ago, so it sank into my lines initially and then it didn't really do anything else. It didn't sink into any of my other lines like any more than it did like right off the bat. So it sank into my forehead lines, but nothing like too alarming. It sank into my under eye lines pretty badly, so I'm probably going to avoid putting foundation underneath my eyes in the future if I use this foundation again. And then my smile lines, it always sinks into my smile lines because I smile and I talk and I move my face, so I mean, it is what it is. I would say this foundation for the price is pretty okay. It's a drugstore foundation for, I think it was $24, so it's not that bad of a foundation, but I would say that it is a little bit on the pricey side for a drugstore. I'm used to paying like $10 or $15 for foundation rather than $25, so this is a little bit more expensive than I would like to pay for. Another thing that I want to make note of is it did completely wear off on my nose on this side of my face and this side. So my nose portion, the foundation has worn off, and everywhere else it stayed pretty good. So it was just breaking up on my nose. So I'm going to show you guys, I'll zoom in. So you can see on my nose where it's starting to break up right there, and right there on both the left and right nostril kind of part, and it broke up a little bit right here. So I'm not too sure why it did that because I haven't been touching my face or my nose, so it may just be the type of foundation that it is. It just kind of breaks up over time, but everywhere else on my face looks good. It's just my nose area that it's broken up on. I don't really pay much attention when I'm not doing wear tests to where my foundation is breaking up, but I've never noticed it doing that before, so that's really interesting. So it did break away on my nose after 8 hours, so that is something to keep in mind. But as for this foundation, I think it looks pretty okay. I don't know, it looks pretty cakey and it looks pretty dry, but that's kind of just the matte kind of foundation it was. Also, it does sink into like all of my pores and stuff, so I don't know. I would say that this foundation, I would wear it again, but I don't know if I'm gonna run out and purchase it again, repurchase it, because it is pretty pricey for the finish that I'm getting. I think that in my studio lights and on camera, the foundation looks really great and it looks awesome, but in person and in a mirror, it's not my favorite. So I would say it's probably, I don't know, like rating wise, I would say it's like I would give it half. So I would say out of 10, it's probably a 5. So it's not too bad, but it's not the best. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys did enjoy this video, please make sure to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below for more content like this, and I will see you guys at my next video. Bye!